Audio Renaissance presents The Red Hat Club by Haywood Smith, read for you by Cynthia Darlow. We didn't start out as red hats. We started out in the late 60s as mademoiselles, self-proclaimed creme de la creme of Atlanta's North Side High, Dykes High, Westminster, and Lovett, full of ourselves and drunk with the power of our blooming sexuality and good looks. Coming together from different schools, different religions, and different backgrounds, lifelong friendships were forged as mademoiselles. That was back when there were still rules to be broken, and Atlanta was an overgrown provincial small town, despite its booming commerce and lofty proclamations of being the city too busy to hate. God, did we have some fun, intensified by lots of luscious teenaged angst. Everything in our cloistered world seemed so important. Boys, grades, clothes, sneaking out to the varsity, pep rallies, dances, hiding our coveted little Harlequin mask sorority pins during school, then flaunting them as we cruised Lenox Square or gathered at Wender and Robert's soda fountain. We didn't realize then that we were the last of our kind. With rare exceptions, our mothers had stayed home to take care of us. They might not have been June Cleaver, but they did their best to give that impression. Still, they urged us to go to college so we would have the choices they hadn't. Yet, despite the feminist sea change within our generation, we Buckhead girls had been shaped by an older, more subtle imperative: to marry well and live happily ever after. It was a dream born as we played with our bride dolls, solidified by Father Knows Best and Leave It to Beaver, and secured by our bridge-playing, PTAing, dinner-on-the-table-every-night mamas. Those were our models, regardless of what our mothers told us about becoming lawyers and doctors and executives. We mademoiselles never imagined we would end up as the jilted generation, and we never dreamed that 35 years later we would still be friends. Well, most of us. Nor did we ever suspect what secrets and hidden strengths those lifelong friendships might conceal. Swan Coach House, Wednesday, January 9, 2002, 11 a.m. After a brief, non-productive swing through the gift shop and gallery in search of some thinking-of-you trinket to brighten up my son Jack's bachelor apartment or my daughter Callie's dorm room, I went downstairs to the sunny Main restaurant, cheered by the familiarity of its dark wood floors, chintz tablecloths, and padded walls, bright with tastefully garish tulips. As usual, I was the first to arrive, still clinging to the illusion that punctuality was possible with the Red Hats despite more than 3 decades of evidence to the contrary. But that was just me, always expecting things and people to be better than they really were. "Table for 5, please," I said to the lone waitress, a plump, nondescript woman I didn't recognize. She didn't blink at my red fedora, ancient sable car coat, and tailored dark purple pantsuit. The Red Hats were such a fixture here that our eccentricities had become part of the basic orientation for the staff. "Sorry, madam," the waitress said in thick Slavic accents. "Must wait for all here to be seated." Clearly she had no idea she was dealing with a Buckhead institution, one that was allowed to bend the coach house's ironclad edict. With the exception of private parties, mere mortals were never seated until everyone in their party had arrived. But owing to our long-standing presence, the Red Hats were the exception that proved the rule, provided we were discreet about it. Clearly this new waitress hadn't gotten the message. I pointed to my red fedora. "Tell the manager that the Red Hats are here and I want to be seated."